Hello everyone and welcome once again to my site. It's a beautiful spring day out here today in the month of March. And I don't know if you realize it or not, but the month of March is Girl Scout month. I used to work for a company that gave 50% of its profits to the Girl Scout organization. I think they're a wonderful organization. They teach a lot of things that go along with natural science. If you buy a box of Girl Scout cookies, you'll notice on the side panel the 5 skills taught to the Girl Scouts. The number one is goal setting, decision making is number two, number three is money management, people skills, and for number five, business ethics. We're going to talk about those a little bit during the posts of this month because they relate directly to the 9 words for God's body and the 3 words for God's mind. God's body, the 9 words, are as follows: identity, motion, sound, odor, color, form, temperature, rhythm, and time. Now, we're going to discuss a little bit here more of God's 3 words of God's mind. And all 3 of those words are within you. They are imagination, inspiration, and instinct. And they all relate to this 5 skills of the Girl Scouts. The goal setting is involved in your imagination. These are things that you aspire to. We aspire to reach our perfect selves. And goal setting is a wonderful way to step into your imagination. Whether or not you reach the goal does not really make that big a difference. What really makes a difference is you can dream, you can imagine, and that is stepping off into the actual mind of God. Just because we're not yet aware of the ecstatic mind of God doesn't mean we're not already there. In decision making, number 2 relates to, believe it or not, the instinct side of our upbringing. They talk about evolution. Well, humanity did not quite evolve. We'll talk a bunch about that later on. Humanity actually unfolded like a rose. You see, everything about a form that is in motion, like a tree, a human being, everything about that person or that form is in the seed before the form is fully developed. You see, and it stays there. It does not change. In other words, we go to a museum and see some really fine art, a wonderful painting by a great genius. We forget that along with that great genius is also the drawings on cave walls. Prehistoric man planted the seed of art and it multiplied and grew. Anytime you do anything, it's like planting a seed and it will multiply. Now that can work against us or it can work for us. Goal setting in your imagination is planting a seed and it will multiply. It engenders your spiritual self if it's cooperative with your true aspirations. Decision making is a part of your instincts. Money management comes along with logic, and logic is the one thing that we had to use as we left more of our instinct behind. We'll talk more about that when we get to the ancient Egyptians side. I'm going to be talking about the ancient Egyptians and how they're very much related to some of the ethical things that that the Girl Scouts teach. When it comes to people skills, that relates to the inspiration side of God's mind. People skills, if they don't involve inspiration, you're losing an awful lot of wealth in your relationships. When we extend our inspiration in the form of writing, journaling to other people, or painting, or any dancing or music or any art, any of the five fine arts, we are extending our inspiration, and that will help in your relationships. I know myself, when I started going to Toastmasters. Toastmasters fixed things for me in my relationships far different than it did before. Business ethics relates to imagination, inspiration, and instinct. I can't say enough about this wonderful Girl Scouts organization, and I hope you support them as much as I do. Thank you very much, and have a wonderful day.